You know what I like,
You miss 9 days a year.
young people. That's great. Except for young people. He was wonderful. He was great. He wasn't that.
Call this meeting order. Mr. Strainer, would you lead us in the pledge?
Like, yeah, moving right up the line here.
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pretty sexy.
Okay, we'll ask the clerk to do a roll call. I'd like to welcome everybody.
Thanks.
Mr. Conover?
Here.
Mr. Mayday?
Here.
Mr. Duckman?
Here.
Milligan? Here. Ms. Turner? Here. Mr. Bruno?
Here.
Mr. Driscoll?
Here.
Patrick?
Here.
Mr. Rossi?
Here.
Mr. Bean?
Here.
Vito?
Here.
Mr. Merlino?
Here.
Mr. Stroud?
Here.
Mr. Wild?
Here.
Mr. Gowan?
Here.
Mr. Strainer?
Here.
Mr. Etu?
Here.
Thomas?
Here.
Ms. Runyon? Here. Chairman Garrity?
Here.
Form is established.
Okay, first item of business is the minutes of the January 17th board meeting and the special meeting on February 10th. Motion by Mr. Bean, second by Mr. Stroud. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Okay, we'll open up public comment. Anybody who wishes to address the board before we start this part of the meeting?
Good morning, everyone. Chris Duffy from SUNY Adirondack. Hello, and hope everyone's doing well and keeping warm on these really wintry days. I just wanted to take a moment to introduce our newest staff member, Vice President Keith Kaplan. He's the Vice President for Administrative Services and Treasurer. So for those of you who've been around for a while, this is Anne Marie's replacement, and he's hit the ground running. He's been here a whole month. And so we're really pleased to have Keith. Keith has incredible financial acumen, and I think will be a great addition to the campus. He already has been, and I know he'll be working with all of you, and of course, those of you in leadership roles. I think he has a meeting coming up here in a couple weeks just to get started and getting to know people. But I wanted to just introduce Keith and to say hello. If you want to just say hello and.
Thank you. And I don't want to take too much of your time, but I just want to just say personally how much I look forward to working with all of you and working with the county folks in developing our budget. And I plan to just come in and from time to time, just make sure that we understand what's going on here at the county level, and look forward to working with all of you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome aboard. Anybody else wish to address the board? Okay, next we have employee reporter. And this young lady is works in public health. And her nickname is Jigs, so we're gonna have Pat and Janelle come up and introduce her.
Good morning, everyone. Happy to be here and happy Friday. It's a great pleasure to congratulate Jignasha for Employee of the Quarter and share some words, many words. In short, Jignasha is dedicated, dependable, hardworking, and a helpful employee, not to mention a joyful public servant, enthusiastically serving the community. Jignasha has a distinguished background, but more importantly, she has a genuine interest and enthusiasm for public health and people. She is an energetic, motivated, and eager person, always willing to lend a hand no matter the request. In fact, she was asked to join me this morning for the presentation. No questions were asked. She's very trusting. She came with notebook and pen. She's a positive person who always looks at the bright side and always has a smile on her face. There are many absolutes noted, but they are all very well deserved. Jignasha applied for the WIC coordinator position in 2018. At the interview, I was impressed for many reasons, but the one thing that really stood out was she brought a brochure she had created for the interview, which was very, very well done. At the end of the interview, I tried to give it back to her as to not to steal her work, especially in the event she wasn't hired. And she insisted that I keep the brochure and encouraged me to share it freely with others as desired, whether she was hired or not. Unfortunately, she was not selected for the WIC coordinator position at that time, but she happily accepted a part-time WIC position, nutrition facilitator, AKA nutritionist. She's commuting from exit 11 every day. When public health coordinator position opened, she was encouraged to apply and exceeded all expectations, receiving another promotion in August of 2024 for her current position, public health program manager and WIC coordinator. In her current capacity, she has maintained the respect of her coworkers, administrative staff, and participants. She has wonderful ideas, which she freely shares and demonstrates willingness to research the ideas and help implement them. Currently, Jignasha is responsible for maintaining our agency's policies and procedures, the Child Passenger Seat Safety Program grant, which she secured when she applied, the lead grant, the harm reduction work, respiratory protection program, and fit testing, and the WIC program. While juggling all of her responsibilities, she still had time and availability to help and support her colleagues. To backtrack a little, during the pandemic, Jignasha, along with all of our health services staff, jumped in as needed. Jignasha demonstrated and continues to demonstrate dedication and versatility to fill gaps and quickly learning as challenges come her way. Jignasha helped with investigations, initiating quarantines and isolations, completing compliance checks, daily checks by car and phone, delivering supplies to the sick and the exposed, helping with vaccination clinics, continuing to run the testing trailer, very long after most of us were back to normal with COVID way in our past. Jignasha is not a nurse, but readily acquired the professional, compassionate, and caring attributes while learning new skills, COVID testing. She not once complained as she was running outside to the trailer in the rain, the snow, and all the adverse conditions to meet the need of our agency. She represented our agency with her stellar performance, treating all with dignity and respect. Jignasha has a husband and 2 children who are also very active in school and the community. She is frequently seen at concerts, sport games, and club events. While juggling her many priorities, in December, Jignasha completed a master's degree in public health, which, by the way, is her second master's degree. Prior to earning her master's in public health, she earned the master's in applied nutrition, not to mention she has 2 bachelor's degrees as well. She has worked and volunteered as graduate scholar, nutrition educator, assistant teacher, clinician, dietitian, nutrition consultant. She has truly excelled in all of her past and present roles, as many accolades and compliments on her contributions that she had left behind and continues to provide. Her enthusiasm is infectious. I eagerly wait to see her full potential. She demonstrates leadership and respect in everything she does. Her positive attitude is an example to all, and she's a huge asset to our agency, the county, and the community. We are so thankful for her. We thank her for a job well done. Keep up the awesome work. Thank you and congratulations, Jigs.
Good public health. If you'd like to say.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how much I can speak. I'm just very overwhelmed with everything that Janelle has said. Thank you for the honor. Very, very appreciative of it. It's been a pleasure. It continues to be a pleasure to work for public health, to work for Janelle and Pat. I think they're awesome bosses I can ever have or will have in my life. But no, thank you so much. Thank you.
Right. All right, this next gentleman that we're going to recognize today is retiring. And I'm trying to think back to the first time I met Bill. And when I don't think it was probably when he was wearing a uniform, but we all served, we all started here in the board And I think he sat what Brad is. I think that's where he sat, where Brad is and as a Queensberry supervisor. I'm going to read you a little bit of history of what Billy's been doing the last few years. Bill has been a Republican Commissioner of Board of Elections for 8 years. In those 8 years, we have had 8 general elections, 11 primaries between presidential, local, state, and quite a few special elections. In addition, he has helped run roughly 8 school elections per year going back the last 8 years. And sometimes schools have had 2 elections per year. By our estimates, Bill has presided over 85 elections in total. Bill helped guide Warren County through 2 different voter registration updates. The Board of Elections has seen many changes since 2019 with the beginning of early voting and transition from paper poll books, what Frank likes, to the e-poll books, but Frank doesn't like. But working through one of the most difficult years in 2020 with a presidential election and COVID, the office worked well together through all and continued making great improvements. New voting machines, fantastic election night reporting, improving inspector training, and much more. Bill and Beth McLaughlin have worked efficiently as a team with complete modernization of our voting system in Warren County. Warren County is consistently recognized by other boards of elections and the state board as having run a smooth office with smoother elections. Bill has worked many jobs in the county as patrol officer, like I said, patrol investigator, and as elected supervisor from 2005 to 2011. We'll miss Bill's leadership in the county, but we know he will continue to be around to help with any challenges we have in the future. Thank you, Bill, for your dedication, professionalism, and best wishes to the future. Billy, we have a little certification and a flag flew out front. For you, I want to wish you the best, and like I said, I remember back in 2006 when I started, Gene started, I think you and Mr. Thomas were the holdovers here. Yeah. That's good. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for appreciate it. You want to say anything, really? Yeah.
Absolutely. I kind of caught off guard this morning when John stopped over yesterday and asked me to stop in this morning, but I really don't have anything else to add other than what I said at the special meeting at how proud you as supervisors should be of the county that you run, the employees and the department heads that you have. Not one, all this stuff Kevin listed, I couldn't have done it by myself. It took other department heads within the county. It took my opposing staff on the Democratic side that worked together and get all this stuff done. And as Kevin said, Warren County is regarded as one of the top boards of election in New York State. We're referred to several times by other counties asking for our assistance on how we've done things and how we manage things. And I want to thank you for the opportunity to serve Warren County in all the capacities that I've been in here in, and look forward to a bright future. And I thank all of you for everything and your support. Thank you.
Okay. As far as my report this month, it's pretty short. I attended a couple board meetings and a few of the committee meetings that we had. We spent a lot of time outside the county trying to help other communities get through this. And as a town supervisor, we spent a lot of time dealing with snow removal. So that's one of our favorite topics now. So that's really all I have to report on that. Let's see. Brad, do you have any report this month?
Well, as you're all aware, our chairman has stripped me of all committees. So I don't even have an opportunity to report. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Strainer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Health Services met January 21st. And from that in the packet, you have resolutions 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, and 56. Other than that, that's it.
Mr. Etu.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Economic Growth and Development met on January 24th. We have 44 through 47 before us today. 44 extends the termination date for an existing contract with Cliff and Redfield just for a year. 45, we're proposing to enter into an agreement to complete a recreation assessment plan up in Johnsburg. 46 increases $1,000 from $3,000 to $4,000 for our funding support for Inca, and 47 is proposing our county planning department to enter into a shared services agreement with our regional planning board. We're scheduled to meet again next Friday. Thank you.
Supervisor Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Finance and Budget met on January 30th. There's 7 resolutions within your packet. Number 37 is supplemental appropriations. 50,000 for DPW transfer within their budget, and $65,428.88 out of the contingent fund. Resolution 38 amends the county budget for the Board of Elections, Health Services, Office of Emergency Services, Planning, Parks, Rec and Rail. And most of it is, or a lot of it is revenues that are carried over from last year and transfers, and a few grants. Number 72 amends Resolution 358 of 2022, which was an agreement with National Business Equipment and Supply for printers and copiers. And this is to add a device for the treasurer's office at $36.90 per month, and one $300 expense to move a device from the county clerk's office to the print shop. 73 is to appropriate $300,000 from the vehicle reserve A896 to the sheriff's budget. 74 is to appropriate $33,000 from the computer reserve A895 to the IT, 30,000 to the IT budget, and 3,000 to the human resources budget. 75 appropriates $100,000 from the occupancy tax reserve A881. This is for capital, to pay capital improvement costs to the Glens Falls Civic Center. And 76 is to establish a community development fund, CD 80, septic replacements for low and moderate income households, and transfer $400,000 to CD 80 8662.470 contract. And that's it.
Supervisor Runyon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Tourism Committee met on January 21st. There's one resolution here before you, number 65, authorizing an agreement with Lake Placid Advertisers Workshop for media buying services in the amount of $1,138,000, which is a budgeted item. That concludes my report.
Okay, Supervisor Conover.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have one item in front of the board this morning. That would be resolution 64 dealing with land camping at fairgrounds. I think it's fairly self-explanatory. And Mr. Hayes is here to answer any specific questions that anybody might have regarding the lease and the amendment. Other than that, that concludes my report.
Okay, Supervisor Mayday.
No report.
Supervisor Diamond.
No report.
Supervisor Gilligan.
No report.
Supervisor Turner.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Environmental Concerns and Real Property Services has 2 resolutions, number 48 and 49. 48 is a letter authorizing the chair of the board to send to New York State Department of Environmental Conservation requesting additional funding in the amount of $1.5 million for septic replacement on our waterways. And 49 is Real Property Services, Real Property Tax Services, and they are amending a resolution number 297 from 2023 to designate redemption date for delinquent tax property foreclosure and to fix an auction date.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Supervisor Bruno.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. County facilities met on January 24th. We have no resolutions put forward this time, but I will mention a couple of points from that meeting. Number one, we recognize Kevin Hajos, Superintendent of Public Works, for being elected president of the New York State County Highway Superintendents Association. air show that we had been talking about is not going to occur. We would hope to get it in 2026, but that appears to be off the table now. Couple more points, the boardroom update. When we finish the meeting today, contractor will come in and begin removing all the furniture, et cetera. There's a set of plans depicting what the changes will be. A little hard to read. I'll leave these in the break room for anybody that wants to take a look at them. As I said, they're a little hard to read. They're a little light, if you will, the resolution, but I'll leave those in there. And I don't know if Mr. Hajos wants to talk a little bit about it.
So as Supervisor Bruno said, it will start today. As soon as all of you leave, Buildings and Grounds will clear this room and the contractor will be in here Monday morning. So this is a long time coming. It only took us from 1967 till now to update this one. So it'll be the first 2 weeks. There is asbestos in this room. So come Monday morning, they will set up a containment area. And for the first 2 weeks, they'll be removing the rug. Underneath the rug and the tiles is the asbestos. They'll take care of that first. And then after those 2 weeks, they'll get into the remainder of the demolition. You will be out of this room for board meeting in March and board meeting in April. The contractor will give us final punch list items, or we'll give them final punch list items probably at the end of April. By May 1st, they will be turning this room back over to us. So if there's any questions, as Supervisor Bruno said, there's a set of plans. Anybody have any questions on anything, reach out to me. Don't hesitate to ask and I'll see if I can answer them all. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. A couple more points. Additionally, updates to the front entrance municipal center building. There was $200,000 remaining the court expansion project. The available funding will be used to address the front steps. And magnetometer that we talked about, AMV, Sheriff's Office is finalizing a grant to purchase a new unit for there. And additionally, we had a brief discussion regarding the regional morgue. Mr. Taplin, the county administrator, indicated there was a meeting scheduled in 2 weeks with NISAC, New York State Association of Counties, to discuss potential funding along with conversations with Homeland Security. It was noted a letter had been prepared to form a committee to address or discuss the regional morgue. More to follow on that. And that concludes my presentation. Our next meeting, by the way, is, if anybody's interested, is next Friday, a week from today at 9 a.m.
Okay, thank you. Supervisor Driscoll.
Thanks, Chairman. Human Services Committee met on January 21st. From that meeting came 3 resolutions, numbers 57, 58, and 59. Each are memorandums of understanding with various departments within Warren County. Human Services Committee will next meet this coming Thursday, February 27th. The Cornell Cooperative Extension Board will meet this coming Monday evening, February 24th at 6 p.m. At Extension in Warrensburg. John Bowe, the Executive Director, who is with us, brought the monthly program update. And then finally, I will be reclusing myself at the appropriate time from resolutions 54 and 62 and asking for a roll call vote for those, as well as resolution 75. Thanks.
Thank you. Supervisor Paget.
No report.
Supervisor Drossy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Criminal Justice, Public Safety and Emergency Services Committee met on January 21st. It was a full agenda. All committee members were present and appreciated. As a result, before you've got resolutions 39 through 43 to consider today. The majority of those are either for grant applications or agreements. Our next meeting is next coming week, February 27th at 9 a.m. Thank you.
Supervisor Bean.
No report, but I do want to say thank you to the board and everybody here for supporting the sewer project that's going to be starting in Johnsburg. I do appreciate everyone that took the time to listen and say yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Supervisor Cruzito. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Occupancy Tax Committee met on January 21st. There are two resolutions in front of us today. Resolution 62, Resolution 63. 62 is authorizing Warren County and Tourist and Convention Development Agreement with Adirondack Civic Center to extend the 3-year contract, with $250,000 a year paid quarterly at $62,500. 63 is authorizing continuation of intermunicipal agreement with the Village of Lake George for $25,000 for the Tourist Information Center for 1 year with a 2-year option to renew. That's it. Thank you. Supervisor Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm into my 20th year here, and this is the first time I'm going to say I have no report. But I'm pleased to still, I wish I had room in my house to take this desk, but I'm sitting at the same desk for 20 years. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Supervisor Stroud.
Yes, thank you. On behalf of the Legislative Rules and Governmental Operations Committee, I too want to thank Bill and Beth for working together, working with us to have a Board of Elections I think we're all proud of. And that's because they both work together. And to Bill's credit. And so we're going to miss Bill, but we're also looking forward to working with Harold Hubbard. And so again, looking forward to that. Well, the Legislative Rules and Governmental Operations has two resolutions before you today. Resolution number 60, which is amending agreement with Tenex Software Solutions to purchase 90 Tenex electronic poll book computers, including hardware, software, licensing, registration, management, and on-site training, and to provide licensing and support for the purchase of 3 additional electronic poll book and increase the annual license fee. And Resolution 61 is declaring that the old poll book iPads are surplus and authorizing donation of the old poll book iPads to a nonprofit organization. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, John. Supervisor Wild.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. Personnel and Higher Education met on the 30th of January. There's resolution 66 through 71 in front of you today. One thing I'd like to mention before I go into the resolutions themselves is that I don't know if you've seen it, but SUNY Adirondack has whittled down the candidates for the replacement for President Dr. Duffy. And I had the opportunity to sit in through some of the early interviews with that. And I think each one of them is highly qualified. And I think we're in great shape moving forward. Resolution 66, probation officer trainee, is a new position that's opening up and will eventually move into a full probation officer appointment. Sheriff's Department also has, due to injury, a part-time building maintenance mechanic. 67 is agreement with Albany Med for autopsy services. 68 is altering the dates of the Board of Supervisors meetings in April and May. 69 is policy changes, as well as 70 for job training, conference, and motor vehicle use. And 71 is an agreement for our employee assistance program provider. One other thing I'd like to mention is that as chairman of the Local Development Corporation, and in response to what this board did to help North Creek with the sewer, we set aside $250,000 as bridge funding for infrastructure. So more to come on that, but I think all the town supervisors will become aware of this in more detail in the future. Mr. Chairman, that's all I have.
Thank you. Report of County Administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 23rd of January, attended the Glens Falls State of the City presentation. Mayor Collins made many positive comments about the relationship between the city of Glens Falls and Warren County, and he really does appreciate our partnership. 29th of January was the ARCC conversation with legislators. Senators Dan Steck and Jake Ashby were there, as well as Assemblywoman Terry Warner. It was a great discussion, well attended by supervisors and county employees. On the 29th of January, we also began our peak performance training for department heads and supervisors and managers. About 60 attended training. There are 2 sessions of 30. The first one was well received. It's conducted by Catamount Consulting of Queensbury, and we appreciate the board's support for that training. 30th of January, I attended the CDTA public hearing at Crandall Library. Again, a lot of supervisors were there to talk about the fare increase from $1 to $1.50. Had a chance to talk with Mike Collins, who is the replacement for Carm Basile, as the CEO. He's the acting CEO right now for CDTA. It was met with a little bit of concern by some members of our citizens in Warren County, but in the end, I think they addressed all the questions, and they talked about all the ways that people can get fare tokens and things like that to continue to ride CDTA buses. January and February have been having monthly check-ins with the department heads. That's where we discussed the 24 accomplishments and goals for the upcoming year. We're trying to align our goals this year with the comprehensive plan that's going to be released soon, hopefully. The 4th of Feb, we discussed pay changes for DPW workers with commercial driver's licenses. You were briefed on that at the 10 Feb board meeting by Larry Paltrowitz. We'll bring our recommendations to the Personnel Committee and the Finance Committee for this presentation to the board in March. We were unfortunately not able to reach an agreement with our Teamsters Union, who represent our corrections officers. We'll begin negotiations with a mediator in March. I'd like to say thanks to all of our road crews and DPW, the town highway departments, our buildings and grounds, and everyone who worked to get the county through a challenging snow season so far, with not much available salt and road salt, and winter's not over. So I appreciate everything they do to keep our roads safe. The Supervisor Bruno mentioned the regional morgue meeting. It was scheduled for last Thursday. That was the big snow and ice day. So we postponed that till sometime after NISAC. And mentioning NISAC, next week is NISAC's legislative conference at the Crown Plaza. That's always a good time for us to get an idea of upcoming legislation, things that are concerned for counties across the state. Employee anniversary dates, Charles Wallace, Building and Fire Codes, 20 years. Tom Driscoll, Public Health, 21 years. Mark Bellinger, Sheriff's Office, 21 years. John Lord, Social Services, 24 years. Robin McLaughlin, Public Health, 25 years. Wendy Decker, Countryside Adult Home, 26 years. Glenda Benware, Sheriff's Office, 26 years. John House, Sheriff's Office, 31 years. Valerie Wiseman, Public Health, 33 years. That concludes my report. Thanks, Mr. Chairman.
County Attorney.
Good morning. I'm pleased to report that the Board of Ethics held their first meeting of 2025 on February 5th. They have a second meeting scheduled for next week on Tuesday, February 25th of this year. I am grateful and thankful to the members of the newly created Risk and Safety Committee. In your packets is Resolution 70, which is a countywide vehicle and use policy, which has been reviewed, edited, and approved by the Risk and Safety Committee. It's a single policy that takes multiple policies that different departments had for their employees' use of county vehicles and consolidates it into one single unified policy for the entire county. And it serves as a good example of what we're looking to do through the Risk and Safety Committee during the remainder of 2025 as we continue to review and update policies, some of which have not been looked at for a number of years. I had provided a detailed litigation update during the Personnel Committee meeting. I will add to that we have received no new lawsuits since the last board meeting. We did receive one notice of claim on February 3rd. We were able to close that We reported it to our carrier and closed it within 9 days. Which my office has not been able to do in the past, and we're grateful for the efforts of our risk and safety, our risk manager, who's assisting us in moving these matters quickly to closure when we don't have liability, and working with our carrier to close the matters when we don't have liability. Subject to any questions you may have, that's my report for the month. Thank you.
Any questions for the county attorney? Seeing none, we'll go to reading of communications.
Here we have the county auditor's January 2025 real property tax corrections report, Warren County Board of Elections 2024 annual report, Lake George Park Commission's 2024 annual report, a letter from William Van Ness, Board of Elections Commissioner, announcing his retirement effective February 21st, and Republican Committee of Warren County Election Commissioner certification recommending appointment of Harold T. Hubbard as Republican Commissioner of the Warren County Board of Elections.
Okay, thank you. Reading of resolutions.
Proclamation numbers 5 through 8, resolution numbers 37 through 76, certificate of appointment 5, and floor resolutions number 1 through 8 were distributed to the members of the Board of Supervisors and posted to the Warren County website on February 13th. Proclamations before you are number 5, J. Walter Juckett Award to George Ferone. Number 6, American Heart Month. Number 7, Black History Month. And number 8, Cancer Prevention Month. And then a motion is needed to bring the floor resolution. So we start with number 1.
Okay, motion to bring forward resolution number 1. A motion by Supervisor Runyon, second by Supervisor Turner. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution number 1 will now be resolution number 77. Motion to bring floor resolution number 2.
Motion by Supervisor Bean, second by Supervisor Drossy. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Floor resolution number 2 will now be resolution number 78. Floor resolution number 3.
Motion to bring floor resolution number 3. Supervisor Turner, Supervisor Runyon on the second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Floor resolution number 3 will now be resolution number 79. Floor resolution number 4.
Motion by Supervisor Etu, second by Supervisor Runyon, to bring floor resolution number 4 to the floor. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Floor resolution number 4 will now be resolution number 80. Floor resolution number 5.
Resolution by Supervisor Driscoll, second by Supervisor Stroud, bring forward resolution number 5 to floor. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Floor resolution number 5 will now be resolution number 81. Floor resolution number 6.
Motion bring number 6 to the floor. Motion by Supervisor Runyon. Do we have a second? Supervisor Mayday. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Floor resolution number 6 will now be resolution number 82. Floor resolution number 7.
Or resolution number 7. Supervisor Runyon, second by Supervisor Bean. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Floor resolution number 7 will now be resolution number 83 and floor resolution number 8.
Motion bring floor resolution number 8. Supervisor Rossi, second by Supervisor Bruno. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, floor resolution number 8 will now be resolution number 84. For resolution number 42, which is before you, that's authorizing agreement with Legal Server for case management software for the Public Defender's Office. That resolution needs more work, so we need to withdraw that, and that'll be coming back to the next criminal justice committee meetings. We need a motion to withdraw that, please.
Motion to withdraw resolution 42 by Supervisor Bean, second by Supervisor Runyon. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, this is withdrawn. Okay. Recusals from resolutions. Supervisor.
Thank you,
Driscoll.
Chairman. As I said earlier, I'd like to request a roll call vote on resolutions 54 and 62, so I can properly recuse myself from those two, as well as recuse myself from resolution 75.
Any other recusals? Now let's clerk to read the resolution. I didn't get through the reading, did we? Oh, we did. Anybody else need to recuse from any resolution? Seeing none, will public comment on any of the resolutions? Anybody from the public wish to comment on any resolutions? Any members of the board wish to comment on any of the resolutions? Supervisor Conover.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a little bit of history on Resolution 62. When that first came to the board quite a few years ago now, the gentleman sitting two places to my right was then mayor of the city of Glens Falls and advanced the idea of helping with the Civic Center to this honorable body. And our present chairman was then chairman for the first time and was very interested in the project and helping with this. And I might add that the individual that sat in that seat that helped to shepherd this was Supervisor Gerard, who was a very eloquent and capable supervisor and good friend to many of us. I just want to say I thought at the time it was a good decision, and it continues to be a good decision. And I think the proof is in the pudding, as they say. And I think that we can all be very proud of the help that we have provided to the Civic Center. And I have every confidence that the assistance that was provided to Johnsburg years from today, that we will look back and say what a great decision that was as well. Thank you.
A lot of power in that Ward 1, huh, Jack?
Sure is.
Any other discussions? Okay, I guess we'll vote on resolutions then. Not going too quick.
No. Resolution number 37, making supplemental appropriations. Mr. McGowan?
Yeah.
Mr. Strainer?
Yes.
Mr. Etu?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
Yeah, it goes.
Ms. Runyon?
Yes.
Mr. Conover?
Yes.
Mr. Mayday?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll?
Yes.
Mr. Patchit?
Yes.
Mr. Drossy?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Mr. Crusito?
Yes.
Mr. Merlino?
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Wild?
Yes.
Chairman Garrity?
Yes.
Resolution passes with 1,002 votes in favor. Resolution number 38, amending Warren County budget for 2025 for various departments within Warren County. Mr. McGowan?
Yes.
Mr. Strainer?
Yes.
Mr. Etu?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Ms. Runyon?
Yes.
Mr. Conover?
Yes.
Mr. Mayday?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll?
Yes.
Mr. Patchit?
Yes.
Mr. Drossy?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Mr. Crusito?
Yes.
Mr. Merlino?
Yes.
Mr. Stroud?
Yes.
Mr. Wild?
Yes.
Chairman Garrity?
Yes.
Resolution passes with 1,002 votes in favor. Resolution 54, appointing members of the Professional Advisory Committee for the Health Services Department. For the record, I'm noting that Mr. Driscoll is leaving the room as he's recusing from the vote. Mr. McGowan?
Yeah.
Mr. Strainer?
Yes.
Mr. Etu?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
Yeah.
Ms. Runyon?
Yes.
Mr. Conover?
Yes.
Mr. Mayday?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Patchit?
Yes.
Mr. Drossy?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Mr. Crusito?
Yes.
Mr. Merlino?
Yes.
Mr. Stroud?
Yes.
Mr. Wild?
Yes.
Chairman Garrity?
Yes.
Resolution passes with 957 votes in favor. Resolution 62, authorizing Warren County Tourist and Convention Development Agreement with the Adirondack Civic Center Coalition for the Occupancy Tax Special Event Funding. Mr. Driscoll, is this the other resolution you were? Mr. Driscoll is leaving the room again, for the record. Mr. McGowan?
Yes.
Mr. Strainer?
Yes.
Mr. Etu?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Ms. Runyon?
Yes.
Mr. Conover?
Yes.
Mr. Mayday?
Yes.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Patchit?
Yes.
Mr. Drossy?
Yes.
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Mr. Crusito?
Yes.
Mr. Merlino?
Yes.
Mr. Stroud?
Yes.
Mr. Wild?
Yes.
Chairman Garrity?
Yes.
Resolution passes with 957 votes in favor. Resolution number 66, amending table of organization of Warren County Salary and Compensation Plan for 2025 to create positions within the Department of Probation and the Sheriff's Office. Mr. McGowan,
Yes.
Mr. Strainer.
Yes.
Mr. Etu.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas,
Yes.
Ms. Runyon. Yes. Mr. Conover,
Yes.
Mr. Mayday,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan. Yes. Ms. Turner.
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll.
Yes.
Mr. Patchit.
Yes.
Mr. Drossy,
Yes.
Mr. Bean,
Yes.
Mr. Cristito,
Yes.
Mr. Merlino.
Yes.
Mr. Stroud,
Yes.
Mr. Wild.
Yes.
Chairman Garrity.
Yes.
Resolution passes with 1,002 votes in favor. Resolution number 73, authorizing appropriation of funds from the vehicle reserve to the sheriff's office budget to cover the cost of vehicle purchases and amending the Warren County budget. Mr. McGowan,
Yes.
Mr. Strainer. Oh, sorry, Mr. Strainer is absent. Mr. Etu,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Ms. Runyon. Yes. Mr. Conover.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayday,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan. Yes. Ms. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll.
Yes.
Mr. Patchit.
Yes.
Mr. Drossy,
Yes.
Mr. Bean,
Yes.
Mr. Cristito,
Yes.
Mr. Merlino.
Yes.
Mr. Stroud,
Yes.
Mr. Wild.
Yes.
Chairman Garrity.
Yes.
Resolution passes with 913 votes in favor. Resolution number 74, authorizing the appropriation of funds for the Computer Reserve Fund to the Information Technology Budget to purchase computers and related equipment and software and amending the 2025 Warren County budget. Mr. McGowan,
Yes.
Mr. Strainer. Oh, Mr. Strainer's absent. Mr. Etu,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas,
Yes.
Ms. Runyon. Yes. Mr. Conover,
Yes.
Mr. Mayday,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan.
Yes.
Ms. Turner.
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll.
Yes.
Mr. Patrick,
Yes.
Mr. Drossy,
Yes.
Mr. Bean,
Yes.
Mr. Cristito,
Yes.
Mr. Merlino.
Yes.
Mr. Stroud,
Yes.
Mr. Wild,
Yes.
Chairman Garrity.
Yes.
Resolution passes with 913 votes in favor. Resolution 75, authorizing appropriation of funds from the occupancy tax reserve to the tourism budget and amending 2025 Warren County budget to fund agreement with the Adirondack Civic Center Coalition to support capital costs.
And Ben, what?
And for the record, Mr. Driscoll has recused and left the room. Mr. McGowan,
Yes.
Mr. Strainer.
Yes.
Mr. Etu.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Ms. Runyon.
Yes.
Mr. Conover.
Yes.
Mr. Mayday,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan.
Yes.
Ms. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Patchit,
Yes.
Mr. Drossy,
Yes.
Mr. Bean,
Yes.
Mr. Cristito,
Yes.
Mr. Merlino.
Yes.
Mr. Stroud,
Yes.
Mr. Wild.
Yes.
Chairman Garrity.
Yes.
Resolution passes with 957 votes in favor. Resolution 76, establishing Community Development Fund CD 80 septic replacement, authorizing transfer of funds and amending Warren County budget. Mr. McGowan,
Yes.
Mr. Strainer.
Yes.
Mr. Etu.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Ms. Runyon.
Yes.
Mr. Conover.
Yes.
Mr. Mayday,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan,
Yes.
Ms. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll.
Yes.
Mr. Patchit,
Yes.
Mr. Drossy.
Yeah.
Mr. Bean,
Yes.
Mr. Cristito,
Yes.
Mr. Merlino,
Yes.
Mr. Stroud,
Yes.
Mr. Wild.
Yes.
Chairman Garrity.
Yes.
Resolution passes with 1,002 votes in favor. Just need a collective on the rest.
Mr. Chairman, if I could, resolution 53, my better half is being appointed to a pro bono board. It slipped my mind and I wonder if I should follow suit with Mr. Driscoll and recuse myself and ask for a roll call on that.
Just,
We don't have any personal gain from the appointment, but
let me just get that set up here quick.
for the record, I would vote for her.
Smart man.
I'm just setting it up right now. 53. Okay.
Do you want to redo it then?
No, yeah, but we didn't do the collective yet, so.
Okay.
On resolution 53, appointing the following individuals to the Warren County Disaster Mental Health Response Team. Mr. Etu is recusing from this vote and leaving the room. Mr. McGowan,
Yes.
Mr. Strainer,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas,
Yes.
Ms. Runyon,
Yes.
Mr. Conover,
Yes.
Mr. Mayday,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Ms. Gilligan,
Yes.
Ms. Turner,
Yes.
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll,
Yes.
Mr. Patchit,
Yes.
Mr. Drossy,
Yes.
Mr. Bean,
Yes.
Mr. Cristito,
Yes.
Mr. Merlino,
Yes.
Mr. Stroud,
Yes.
Mr. Wild,
Yes.
Chairman Garrity.
Yes.
Resolution passes with 913 votes in favor.
Okay, I need a collective. All those in favor of the rest of the resolution, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay, we'll go to privilege of floor and public comment. Anybody wish to address the board? Anybody? Go ahead.
So real quick, I just wanted to let you all know that March 5th is Advocacy Day down in Albany. It's basically for us to go down and ask for more CHIPS money for all the towns, cities, villages. This year, and I'll let you know that on February 6th, I went down and testified at the joint budget hearing on transportation. The governor has only put in $800 million for DOT projects. She has kept the CHIPS funding for towns, villages, cities, counties flat. With the increase in inflationary cost on materials, it's not going to help any of us this year. So number one, you're all more than welcome to attend Advocacy Day. You can register for it, or call my office and my confidential assistant will register you. If you register, we're all down there in orange shirts. It's usually about 800 people down there at the Capitol, begging for them to give us his money. So, and it's in the works, but there's probably going to be a press conference up here with some of the legislators like Dan Steck, Matt Simpson, Jake Ashby, Scott Bendet, Kerry Warner, to basically to do a press conference to talk about the same thing. We're going to try to hold it down at the South End shop in Queensbury, and the more the merrier for that press conference, the better. So, but I'll keep you posted on that. They're looking at the 27th or possibly March 7th.
Thank you. Okay.
Just
Any
what time's the Advocacy Day start on the fifth?
They start the breakfast at 7:30, I think, and then at 8 o'clock is the briefing. And then right after the briefing's done, we'll head up to the Capitol to meet with our representatives.
What was the day again?
March 5th.
That's right. Any other announcements or Supervisor Drummond?
Yes, just one announcement and one question. Last evening, the Horicon Town Board passed our short-term rental local law, and we're very pleased to do that. It was actually very well supported by many residents that were in attendance. But I want to compliment, and I did this previously, but since we just passed that, I want to compliment our county treasurer, Christine Norton, and the county planning office, both Ethan Gaddy and Matthew Smith, who were really instrumental in helping us to compile research, what eventually ended up to be our final local law. They actually attended the meeting last night and spent several hours with us. So Christine, thank you. And to Ethan and Matthew, we're greatly appreciated. Just one question on the remodeling of this. Is the window coverings part of that plan? It is. Okay.
Yes.
Obviously, you can see why I asked the question. So I appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. We go right down the line. Supervisor Merlino.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just want to take a minute to introduce a gentleman that's been sitting in this corner for the last year plus. He's going to take over the responsibility of the town of Lake Luzerne. I'm highly supportive of him, and I think he'll do a good job, and I think he'll win the election. So I'd like to introduce Jim Niles, which came up at our OCTAX meeting, not knowing he wasn't supposed to be there. He's learning. Thank you.
Okay. Supervisor Wild.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I was looking at the clock and I had to say something because I don't remember getting out of a boardroom meeting in less than an hour. But I do have a comment in regards to what our administrator said about the CDTA and their fare increases. I just don't understand. It's just been over a year. We've given them close to $1 million to take over this operation, and now they want to increase our fares when the discussions were related to expanding service. So I just wanted to make that comment. I'm not happy with it, and hopefully we can find a way to keep this manageable for the people who do ride the buses. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Supervisor Trainer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a few shout outs here from Bolton Landing. Jackson Egloff, who just scored his 1,000th point in basketball. And the ironic thing is his sister a month ago, she scored her 1,000. So congratulations to them. I want to congratulate the Queensbury wrestling team winning their 3rd straight Foothills Council title, and especially Keith Miller. Keith had a request this year to make it to the Class B finals and to the Section 2 finals. He didn't make the Section 2 finals, but he was a Class B winner of Section 2. And he also did place in the Section 2 tournament, and those were both of his goals. So congratulations to Mr. Miller. And then there's one other one. This Lisa Ambrosini. Lisa is preparing for a trip to Italy for the Special Olympics. She's going to represent the United States in skiing. I thought it would be nice if we all wished her good luck and hopefully she'll have the results she's shooting for. So thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Supervisor Conroy?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, thank you. I was at the Capital District Transit meeting along with Supervisor Driscoll, I believe was there as well. And I just want everyone to know that I did speak at that hearing, did put in a plug for continued and improved service to the rural parts of this county, which, as you know, was a big item in our deliberations. So how much of that's gonna happen, I can't say, but we did have some people there speaking to the issue and to rural service in our county. Thank you.
Anyone else? Any other announcements? Any other comments? Motion to adjourn. Oh, Supervisor Mayday.
If anyone's has nothing to do on Saturday, there's a crazy downhill derby at Dynamite Hill from 10 to 2. It's always a fun event.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Motion to adjourn by Supervisor Drosy. Thank you. We are adjourned.
Too early.